Yep, just building an audience. Here you have some of our tourists, obviously getting off a bus, whatnot, going to our famous beach, our world famous beach, Horseshoe Bay Beach. There goes the bus. You'll see it. There you go. Yep. Yep, that's the bus. So on on one side, you see the beauty of the fact that we have one of the most world-renowned beaches, Horseshoe Bay Beach, in sight, you know, the entrance. And then if you just scope around, you know, here we have, I believe it's Southampton Rangers Club. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm not used to these places. And this was the place, the basic area, where we had 2 stabbings. We had stabbings last night in the island of Bermuda. I'm videotaping this from my car because it's warm outside. So you be like, you know, in case you're like, oh, hi, Sister Donna, God bless you. In case you're wondering, I saw Jana. Hi, Jan, I hope you're still there. You're like, why Pastor doing this from her car? Because it's hot out there. I should get out in it. Well, I will eventually. Again, I'm taking my time here because I want us to recognize that in one given area, we have the place where stabbings will happen in the darkness of night. And then, if you scope around, you have the place where during the beauty of the daylight, tourists will come to enjoy one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Maybe I could refer to this as the 2 Bermudas. I don't know. It's the truth of Bermuda. How about that? And as a pastor, this is where I'm going to lose some people, but I want to speak to the difference between the darkness. See, in the daytime, it's pretty cool, isn't it? In the daytime, we don't expect to have happened what happened last night in the dark. No, as a matter of fact, in the daytime, this place, Southampton Rangers Club, and by the way, I'm not picking just on this club. It's a generality of what's going on in Bermuda. I want to say that. So in the daytime, this place is not that different from this place. Both nice, no evil happening. Everybody going to enjoy themselves. But the truth is that when the sun goes down, this place experiences something different sometimes. And I believe that we need to talk about it. I think the more that we talk about it, the more we can bring an awareness of what's going on and help to, I believe, stir up the basic general love that Bermudians are known for. My thing is right now, tough to have us to love others when I don't believe we are loving each other the way that we ought to. I guess I should get out about now and walk around. I'll do it for a little while till I get too hot. Then I'll come back in this car and put the AC on, I'll tell you that. All right, so, okay, here we go. Yeah, because probably as I walk around, I'll get inspired to talk more and more and about what's going on. So again, daylight time, really good, no problem. Both kind of the same, right? However, the truth is, Bermuda, that when the sun goes down, the darkness of the night, there are dark things that are going on. You know, many don't want to speak to it, but there are dark things that are going on that we need to expose. And I guess you expose it in the light, innit? In the light of the conversation that needs to take place. So I've got so many thoughts about this. So I might be here and there, but I think you'll get my drift. One of the things, like, my parents, they partied back in the day. My dad, a Russell, so he was a footballer. And from what I can tell from the conversations that I've had with them, is that there was like an honor about being a part of a club, and that the older men would make sure that the younger ones were, in order, and there was a respect, and the guys had to respect the females, and if you weren't 18, you weren't allowed to come in because that's where the older, more respectful guys were, and it was sort of like that. You almost could say that the clubs back then were an extension of home, and an extension even, I'm going to go there, of church. That's a statement in it. What do I mean by that? There was a respect, there was a general rule, there was a no nonsense. Of course it wasn't perfect, of course fights and whatnot would happen, but not at the extent of what's going on today. And so I think it's very, very important that we talk about the fact that Bermuda as a society, as a whole, I should say, have no longer respect for the church. As a matter of fact, we would rather, I'm speaking in general, not all, people make time to the clubhouse. People make sure that they're there for the game and the after hours. How many take that same diligence to be in God's house? To be in God's house. What we're dealing with, and some people recognize it, is spiritual wickedness. It's spiritual warfare. Light versus dark. That's it. Light versus dark. And the more that the lights are silent, the more that the lights refuse to speak to what's really going on in our beautiful land, well, the darker it will become. And hence today, after 2 stabbings, gunshots were fired to the ground or whatnot, as reported. After all that, people are like, oh, wow, okay, he didn't die, he did, okay, move on. Why is that happening? Because we're becoming used to it, we're becoming immune. And as long as it doesn't involve us directly, we're like, carry on, let them kill each other. Well, I don't want them to kill each other. I want them to realize what killing each other, them killing each other is doing. We have children that are being left fatherless by the grace of God. Only by God's grace. We don't have 2 mothers who are grieving today and who are not grieving today, and who don't have to reach out to a pastor like me to say, will you speak over my son's dead body? By the grace of God. You know how it goes, an inch this way, an inch that way, and could have been the wrong artery. Wow, come on, Bermuda. I'm going to make up a term here because I don't know if it's a term at all. But I'm thinking, what we need to have is like a self-curfew. A self-curfew. I said it, a self-curfew. I was around the table with Coxon. Must have been 20 years ago. The police guy. Head of police, he might have been police commissioner, I don't know. Anyway, I was around the table, and that was actually one of the suggestions he made. Boy, oh boy. Yep, time for a self-curfew. What do I mean about that? Well, once the sun goes down and it's the darkness of the night and there's no